Hi there, LinkedIn family. Jonathan here from Some Talented People. And today, quick video about listening. Now, I spent 25 years working in sales and sales related activities. And the way that we were trained to listen is to obviously maintain eye contact, you make noises of understanding, you summarize and ask questions back, and you probe to find out what the real meaning behind what a person is saying to you is. And as you become more trained, you start to hear the things that are not being said. Now, in a sales environment or a business environment, that style of listening, I think, is still pretty good. It uncovers customer needs and all sorts of things. The trouble is that this is context specific. So I read, when did it be? Last year sometime, I read the quite old book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And towards the end of that book, it talks about a scenario which, if you're a woman, you will recognize, and probably if you're a man, you'll recognize. And that is that, and obviously this is not always true, but it's largely true, that women will speak about issues that they've experienced throughout the day as a way of articulating it outside of their head. It is not something they want a man to solve or come up with 10 solutions or get frustrated that nothing seems to be happening. Essentially, it is not always true, but it's largely true that women have more expansive thinking. So women will more typically understand long-term consequences and results of behavior, whereas men typically are fairly binary: problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. And we don't always understand the long-term implications of the things we're doing. So here's what it says in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I've been practicing it now because I'm what's known as a rescuer according to the Cartman drama triangle. So I had spent most of my life up to a certain point always trying to dive in, always trying to help, listening to the problem, but then trying to come up with solutions based on my perspectives. This is not what's needed. Most people, as they talk to you, want to be heard. They don't want new or different answers. They don't want you to leap into their aid. What they want is to be heard. And the phrase was so simple that I was able to understand it in a way that immediately changed the way in which I communicated with people. And here's the line. It says, listen compassionately, respond emotionally. So if someone says to you, oh, money, 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 oh, I'm so angry, and you say, oh wow, that sounds really stressful or irritating, or whatever emotion you're picking up from the person talking to you, and they go, yeah, it was. And so what you've done there is that you have engaged in listening, but you've not drawn them over the coals, stretched out their thinking, challenged what they're saying to you. You've simply listened in a compassionate way. And compassion is shown by eye contact, by and oh, and really, and phrases that allow them to link their story together in a narrative form. And then, rather than trying to save the day, your response is merely to show that you understand the emotions that those people are feeling. And that way, what happens is people get to get the thing out of their mind. If you challenge people with new ideas, as I now know, what you're doing is challenging the nature of their reality, not just a concept or an idea. And I didn't know I was doing this, but that is what I've been doing all my life until quite recently. The difference when I started listening was profound, is profound, continues to create better, more conducive discussions with people. And now I only offer my help if people ask for it specifically. And even then, I'll say, would you like a short, medium, or long term or long standing answer to this? Because I now know so many things about psychology and learning and state and motivation that literally, if you get me talking, I'm like a babbling idiot for most people, because there's so much information coming out of me so fast that no normal brain can deal with it. When you respond emotionally, so you recognize from the tone, from the body language, from the words used, the kind of emotion that the person speaking to you is feeling, and you respond and reflect that, then what you get is you get them to feel relaxed and feel heard. And from there, especially with women, because as I say, men are more binary, but especially with women, the simple act of being heard and understood allows them then to go off and solve the problem for themselves. They don't need a man to step in and offer a solution, because they are at least as good as finding solutions as men, and quite often better. There is a dynamic between male-female relationships, which has been the case really for 200,000 years, whereby men are I'm a man, I can solve it. That is old thinking. And if you want to have more conducive relationships, so adult parents of female children, people in relationships, men in relationships, if you take this on board to listen compassionately and respond emotionally, the difference in the quality of your communication will be so profound, you'll wonder why you hadn't been told this information before. I'll put a cover shot of the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This particular information is quite a way towards the back, but I recommend reading the whole book, because this one piece of information has been so valuable to me, and I believe that you will, because obviously as we read things, we pick up different bits of information depending on our own biases. So read the book and understand that you can make a significant difference to people just by allowing them to be heard. Okay, you have a good day. I'll see you again. Take care.